Hi, Katzcradul here. Last night was the end of a not so perfect week for us. Of course, if you watch my videos, you know that I had a nasty toe injury last Saturday. Paladin Prepper hit a deer on Thursday morning. And last evening when I went into my bedroom to get ready for bed, I kind of just thought I saw something under the dust ruffle of my bed, and I lifted up, and to my horror, a case of sweet potato that was stored under my bed had, I don't know what happened to it, but it had leaked out onto my carpet, which is almost white, and made the nastiest, ugliest brown stain. We took that case of sweet potatoes out. I have gone over those cans with a fine-tooth comb. I cannot find any leak, any compromise, any bulge, anything. But as we pulled out the sweet potatoes, we also store some soda under there for barter. We don't really drink it. It's Coke, and I bought it on sale, and I know Coke fiends just can't hardly go without Coke, so I thought, well, that would be a good barter item. So I had stored some under there. Oh my goodness. The cases are red. Several of them had leaked. We pulled the cases out. The cases came out kind of a pale color, and the red stayed on the carpet. So at midnight last night, we are shampooing the carpet in that bedroom. We never got it up. Thankfully, the bed is positioned in the only place we would ever want it to be. So if the stain stays under there, we don't really care. But it's still upsetting to know that food or drink has spoiled, and there's a big mess to clean up. Anyway, so I decided, even though these cans of sweet potatoes have an expiration date of, still 2 years away, I thought I would just go ahead and use them, because I absolutely cannot find which one leaked. It's the weirdest thing. So I decided I wanted to see if I could find a recipe for sweet potato muffins. And Mark Bittman had one at Runner's World, I believe, and I looked at the recipe and could tell that it probably needed a little tweaking. So I went ahead and did that and worked on it and revised it and ended up making some sweet potato muffins. But it wasn't until I was almost too far into it to make a video on it when I decided to share it with you. So here are the wet ingredients. It calls for both. The original recipe calls for both oil and butter, which I think, I know each of them serve their purpose, but I just substituted with coconut oil. That's what you see on the left. There's some buttermilk, an egg, some mashed up sweet potato, and I just did that with my hands. I didn't feel like getting the mixer out and all that. Didn't feel like going to the trouble of cleaning up all that. And in there is also some vanilla. So all the wet stuff's in there. Yeah, here's one of the cans I took out, and I wrote on them. I took the labels off because I wanted to see, which one was leaking, and I just wrote sweet potatoes on top of them until I get to them. At least I'll know what they are. But I took the labels off because I was just bound and determined to find which one leaked. I never, ever could find it. Look, that can doesn't expire until 1 of 15. I just don't get it. I don't know what happened. Anyway, don't store things under your bed unless you have plastic under them or some other kind of thing to contain spills. I have greased with coconut oil 12 muffin cups, and I will now get on with putting the dry ingredients in there, and I will list the recipe below for you so that you'll know everything that went into them. I tweaked them in several different ways. I added more flavorings to them. I added a little bit of coconut to them. I have never had, to my knowledge, a sweet potato muffin, and was a little hesitant to make these because they're 100% whole wheat, and that's not usually my favorite thing. I've got to tell you, they are lovely. I did not cook them until they were totally brown on the bottom, because if you do that and it's a whole wheat muffin, you're really gonna dry it out. So I left these where they were not brown on the bottom. They were nice and golden on the top, and when they came out, because the bottoms were soft, I turned them on their tops because the tops were really firm. Now they've cooled off, and I'm turning them over, and the bottoms are able to sustain the weight of the muffin. Usually 100% whole wheat is pretty heavy, and most things that are 100% whole wheat to me, unless they're commercially made, could almost be used as a doorstop. But not these. They are delicious. And the sweet potato, you really can't identify it as sweet potato. It's just some sweetness in there. I did put a little coconut in. The original recipe called for ginger, but I also added some cinnamon as well. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit in your recipe because I would have liked just a little more. Paladin Prepper, I called him in. He's finishing up our beehive. He has built that himself, and you can find that on his channel. I called him in to cool off and to taste the muffin. He thought they were delicious. Really liked them. Yeah, he said be sure and keep this recipe. What I like about them is that I'll be able to freeze them in individual bags. He can take one out the night before he goes to work, and the next morning just pop it in the microwave and take it with him. Prepper A liked them as well. She thought they were good. She's really kind of a muffin person. She loves a muffin. So all in all, I think these are probably the best 100% whole wheat muffins I have ever tasted. They are quite delicious and light and but filling when you eat them. I was trying to make something that would tide us over till dinner, and it was a great little afternoon treat. Hope you give them a try. Katzcradul.